Up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Good morning, good evening, good day, good night. Welcome to Positive Rate. I'm your host today, Willy Canuck. How you doing? Howdy. Big shout out to Nighthawk. Flying, it's been months since we've looked at this airplane, and I had a sneaky peek yesterday. I was like, oh my god, how do I do this? Oh man, I'll tell you. So we got a nice route today, continuing around the world flight. I'll jump right into the plan today. Get that set up. There we go. We are taking the Telvo 1T departure from runway 3 left, I believe, from Ankara. It's going to give us a couple left turns as we head south, more or less, past Telvo, out of Turkey, and then we will be coming into Cyprus. Now today we are going to be taking the Nordi 1T ILS Papa approach into Paphos. So what that looks like is we'll be coming into Nordi. I've got probably some waypoints I'm going to have to delete here, but essentially it just swings us down to the south a little bit, and then we hit the intercept the ILS approach into Paphos. All being well, hopefully everything goes all right. It's been a while since I've flown this plane, so I'm probably going to forget stuff. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today anyway. So I've got some ground power hooked up. I've already loaded my flight plan as well, so we can get some power to the airplane. So let's do that. Let's get the battery on. And the sim noise is up as well. Can put on the emergency lights, and nav can come on here. Right now I've got ground power, so let's turn that on. I believe we could turn... no, we can't turn that on until we got engines, possibly. We'll definitely turn the pitos on anyway. Getting all sorts of ding-dongs here. Yeah, it's not happy right that here. The aircraft is now booting up. It takes a little bit of time as the screens run a test sequence, but eventually we will start seeing stuff. QNH today is METAR 1018, so we can set that once we get, there it is. Here's our QNH here, so we just need to rotate that until we get to 1018. Out there, that's good. And we've got the airplane fully loaded today, so I've got a V1 V rotate of 108, and I can't remember how we set that in here, but anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the speed to climb speed is about 170 in the ATR. We are relatively fully loaded as well. So, and then you get all the fun stuff down here, which just gets a bit crazy, but anyway. Nav, yeah, there's our L. Okay, so just remember how to set all this. Cervix transponder, their TCAS, so we can put on our transponder anyway. Don't think 7,000 is quite right, but anyway. 2-4. Whoop. Don't know what I said there. That's fine. Well, we want 2, 2, 4, 2, 1, or something like that. Enter. Okay. And then TCAS. I think that comes on automatically, so I'll just leave it in auto for now. Anyway, right, we do have a guy here. Where we are in the airport. Just bring that up. So we are currently here, so we don't actually need a pushback, really. We just need to intercept the taxiway and come out to Alpha 3, to Alpha, cross runway 3 right, and then Alpha 2 lining up for runway 3 left, and we'll head out straight that way. Nighthawk says if you use the EFB, you can set the whole flight plan there. Yeah, that's what I've done, because it's just a bit fiddly. So, and we've got a 2-hour block time as well. Right, initial altitude, we'll set that for 10. Let's see. It's changing here, just in case you're wondering what I'm. Let's set that for 11,000 initially. Actually, we'll go 9,000. Let's go 9,000. And there has been a recent update for this as well. Flight director's on, that's fine. So I'm going to see if that's made a bit of a difference, particularly on approaches, managing throttle, and also just general taxiing, because I found that to be a bit of a pain at times. Right, now, I think we're good to go. So I think that's our taxiway there, isn't it? So we pretty much just have to hopefully not run over this guy, but we're just going to pretend he's not there and say that we're going for straight out. We are set to climb power setting, that's fine. We've got throttle inhibitor is there. Brakes are currently on, which is correct. So what we'll do is take the wheel chocks off, and oh, we got some stuff to do here, don't we? Right, so flight plan. Right, how do I get rid of this throttle or yoke? There, right, that's better. Okay, so we are departing runway. We said 3 left, didn't we? See if that clicks in. Oh no, you can select it down here. Silly Willy. There we go. 3 left. Execute. Yeah, that's fine. It's got some Boeing qualities to this FMC. Right, I don't want that. What I want is stern departure, which will be what did I say to it? 1T or Telvo 1T, I should say. Execute. That's good. And then if we go to our arrival, we've been assigned runway 29, and we're going to take the ILS. There's the 29P arrival there, and we are going to take that through the Nordy 1T arrival, and we're going to do that through Nordy and execute it. Now here's where it gets a bit fiddly. I know there's a whole mechanism to this. I want to go into plan mode. Hopefully there, yep, I think that's plan mode, so that's good. So if we go back, now remember I said that we had some superfluous waypoints in here, so we need to clear them out. So if I go back to is the arrival. I think we take out everything after Nordy, so we want to keep these guys, PH 952, Papa Hotel 951, 950, 904, etc. So anything after Nordy that isn't that probably needs to go. let's see what we can see in here. So 901, that looks correct. 904, 905. I think it's probably until we got an extra Nordy in there. There, that's what it is. So if we see if we can do this Boeing style. So we click on Nordy. Oh no, wait. Or do we just hit clear and then take that out? And then, okay. So we can take out all these extra little waypoints here. And we don't need the extra Nordy, so we'll get rid of that. And then we hit execute. What does that look like now? And there is a discontinuity in there, though. That's fine. I'm going to leave that in for the moment. That is looking a lot better. Okay. That's good. Right. Quite happy with that. That's the thing. You hit flight plan, it actually goes to your secondary flight plan, so sometimes it can be a bit confusing. So we'll get... Whoop. There's a way, there's a way, there's a way. I think that's it there. There's a way to get range too. There you go. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So let's get going. Okay, right. So we're gonna put our just back to our overhead here because it's not. So we're gonna put the beacon on. Just see if that's visible from the outside there. Yeah, see the beacon's now going. Nighthawk's just getting ready to go. That's fine. Oh, we see 738 over there. That's interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to start the airplane in hotel mode, which is a very weird term, but there's a rationale to it. What it means is we can start engine number 2. Two Cats! Oh, blast from the past. How you doing, Two Cats? Runway 3 left is to your south, far right 1 way. Yeah, it's okay. We'll get there in a sec. Let me get the airplane started. Busy but good. Yeah, I'm sympathetic with that. Right, so we're going to turn pump 1 on, and what we're going to do is we're going to pressurize our hydraulics manually. So we'll get, if that works, we get a ready light there. We'll see. So we're going to turn that on, and that should engage the prop brake. Starting, you can do either A, B, and there. You see the ready light's now gone off. That and the prop brake is lit. That now means that our engine number 2 prop is locked. So even though the engine will start, it's not going to spin the blades. And what we'll do is, so we've got that on, and we're just going to click run, and we'll see what happens. We should see, yeah, see activity here now. See if you can hear. How's life my end? Yeah, intensely busy. I just finished 3 days of quite intense training, which was fun. I can't remember if. Yeah, there we go. Now I just need to watch this because when you want to release the brake, you got to make sure that that's in a certain position. So and it can't be auto. I know that much. So that's the engine starting, and you can hear it. But what's actually happened is it started the turbine, but it's not engaged the prop because the prop brake is on. Right. So at this point, you should be able to turn all this stuff off. Well, it's going to give me low here at the moment. That's fine. That's all on. That'll come on automatically anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Oxygen can come on as well. I think that's pretty much up. So we can put pump 1 here as well. Let's see. Let me think. Is there anything else I'm forgetting here? I think we're good to go. Just do a quick check on the pedals there. That's good. It's all looking good. Everything's all not happy. Right. Let's look at that map again. because I was obviously not thinking about what I'm trying to do. So, well, it says I'm facing the south. Nighthawk, so I presume, yeah. So it's basically just like follow that line, isn't it? I think. We'll see shortly. Okay. What I'll do is I'm gonna call him, but then tell him to go away, if that makes any sense, and see if he buggers off somewhere. Your map is missing the far right runway. Is it? Or am I looking at the wrong one? Nighthawk, you're confusing me. What's going on? Right, we're here. We're going to 3 left, right? There's 3 left. So we're coming down Alpha 3, Alpha 2. 3 left. Is that not correct? Or am I missing something really basic? Let's have a recce. So there's the taxiway there. Yeah, so we're going all the way down to... We actually need to cross a taxiway here. Oh, there. See, it hooks up. So we follow that all the way around to the end. We're going to cross the foot of runway 3 right, hook up with 3 left, and then boom. Something like that. Okay, so I'm just going to get everything started here. Now, let's get the prop brake off. So how we do that is we're going to do a little pump again. Couple clicks, you'll see the ready light come on. Open that up. Put a pic of runway in the pub. Okay. Oh, you're doing this from a little nav map. Yeah, we're going... Oh, I see. That says 3 right and 3 center. Oh, 3 left. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I'm confused, aren't I? Wait a minute. Let me look at this again. I think that little nav map's inaccurate. If I may be so bold, sir. Because this is a current Japenson chart of this airport, and 3 left is definitely there. So I think what they're calling this 3 center. But yeah, I think we're just going to plod on. Right, what was that again? Okay, sorry, we've lost hydraulic pressure. So let's we'll couple clicks. See the ready light now? We're going to take that off. The unlock light is lit. That means the prop brake is now releasing. And we should now see that that is spinning. That's what we want to see. At this point, we can start engine 2. J-Hog, good morning, sir. How are you? How are you? Oh, need to put that into, there we go. There we go, it's starting to spin. Idle gate, we can leave that on, and we'll leave the thrust inhibitor on for a moment while we taxi. Once we got a good start on both, we can now put these to auto. And that is really going to spool things up. And all these low pressure lights hopefully should go away as well at some point. Windshield heating can come on. I feel like I'm missing something here. Yeah, there we go. Engine cranked off. And we'll put our, very hard to see there, we're going to put our taxi lights on. There we go. Oh, they're very bright. You good just got to get your aircraft back from Malaga. Fair enough. Okay, we can release the brake here. A little bit of power. And yes, we're totally going to drive through all these vehicles. Well, I probably should turn off the ground power to be fair. The ground power light's still lit. Better check that. No, it's all off. We are in here power. Okay, I should turn the ground power off technically. Everything else, I think we're okay. And so far at the moment, this looks pretty good. It seems to be taxiing quite happily. I am seeing a noticeable improvement to the ground handling. Seems a bit more fluid than it used to be. It used to be quite, what's the word? Fiddly. I'm pretty happy with that. That's definitely an improvement. I might start flying this more often. If it's improved this much. I can't remember who actually made the ATR. This wasn't Innobuilds, was it? And by the way, huge thank you to Nighthawk, our news correspondent. We got some awesome news today, including a surprise announcement from Innobuilds, which I'm really excited about. Okay, anything else we need to be... This feels very dark in this cabin. I gotta turn some lights on here. See if we can get that sorted out. And... what's that? That's overhead. There we go. That's looking a bit better. You can see everything now. Oh, I do love the sounds. That sounds like an improvement as well. Oh, I love that. And it's funny, you know, turboprop airliners, they have a very distinctive noise to them. It's like, because it's basically a turbocharged, well, it's a turbine engine. But it just has like this... this turbo noise, like you can hear it in the engine. It's really cool. Hopefully that 737's not going to back out on us while we go behind them. We got Nighthawk behind us somewhere. Oh, where's Nighthawk gone? Missed him. Nighthawk, where have you gone? I can't see you. Okay. You're at 3 left, so take off first and catch up? Okay. Very confused. So passing 3 right now, so we need to get lighting lights on and strobes, and we'll just stick the logo on, why not? Make sure nothing's coming. Well, it does say 3 center, you're right. You're right. Take it back, Nighthawk. You're right. It is. There's an inconsistency, but hopefully this is still three left, which is our takeoff. Yeah, our assigned takeoff is 3 left anyway. So. Okay, we are getting ready to line up, so we can put the brakes on. Our lights are already on, so that is all good. Sorry, we should have had seatbelts on there. Just alert the cabin crew that we are taking off. Everything else is off. You shouldn't see anything lit here, really. So it's very much like Airbus. If you see something lit, it needs your attention, and you need to think about what you're doing. All right, let's get our map back in, if we can. That's not necessarily the map I was thinking about. Okay, so at this point we can now we can take off our throttle inhibitor. Our idle gate can come off. We're going to set flaps 1 over here. And we will take off at ramp power, which is that white notch there, eventually. Okay, brakes come off. Let's roll out. Oh, this is curious. Don't think those approach lights should be there. There's definitely a little bit of silliness. We're going to see this, I think, because this is not a properly crafted airport. So we'll go by these lights. Three left must be new. Well, that's what I was assigned in the flight plan. I mean, I put the route at the top. Are you familiar with Paphos, Nighthawk? It sounds like you know quite a lot about this airport, actually. Okay, we are past those funny lights now, so we'll come up to line up in the middle. 108 is our rotation speed. You've flown to Cyprus a few times, yeah. Yeah, I personally I think I've maybe flown to Cyprus once. I think we actually did it on stream. Now that I think about it. Okay, we are lined up. Gonna bring in that power slowly, and ramp. Airspeed's alive. $80 knots. Take pressure off the yoke. 108. Rotate slow, not too much. Otherwise, we don't want to get a tail strike. Positive rate. Gear up. I don't know if we got we should have actually set our heading as well. And we're climbing, start drop the nose a bit. Let's get a bit more speed. Still manual. See the airspeed building now. Flaps can come to 0. Look at those views, guys. Okay, let's see what happens when we put on the autopilot. Get the nav in here. And we'll go VNav as well. Things now correcting on course. Lane lights can come off. And oh heck, we'll just take it right up to 19,000, shall we? Smooth. Thank you, mate. There's 19 set. VNav's not coming in at the moment. Not sure. Oh, you know why? I have a sneaking suspicion is the altitude... Oh no, the altitude is set. Well, it is flying the course, and we are climbing, so I'm happy with that. Try to do. Let's see if we can use indicated airspeed climb. And what that'll do is that'll pitch the nose to maintain that current speed. We can actually turn that down if we want. So let's go for 170, which is the recommended climb speed for the thing, and that's going to give us a great climb rate as well. We can now put this into climb mode. Don't know why that should be there. Now, again, the point of the ATRs are not about speed; they're about efficiency. So they're not designed to necessarily get up quickly or fly particularly fast. What they're designed to do is to fly small, short routes on very, very little fuel. And if you think about, we're going to be in the air for 2 hours. Granted, we don't have as many passengers, but we're doing that on 2.4 tons. Only 2.4 tons of fuel. And we can get some good views here now, I think. Look at that. Oh, it's amazing, amazing scenery here. Loving this. Nighthawk is airborne. He's behind us. And off we go to Cyprus, guys. So, maintaining climb rate just over about 1,000 feet per minute. That's completely acceptable. We're only going up to 19,000 anyway, so it's not going to be too long. And we might want to think about icing. Where's our icing now? Anti-icing is there, so we can put that on if we want. And then we also have fast icing down there, but it does consume power, so you don't necessarily want to use that unless you absolutely need to, because it will draw a noticeable drain of power off the airplane. There's our ice AOA light there as well, so and you will icing is a very, very critical thing that you want to watch with these things, which has been pointed out to us very recently in the news. Terrible crash. I can't remember where it was. Was it Colombia? But yeah, it was absolutely definitely caused by icing, and the plane just pretty much dropped out of the sky. It's the best way to describe it. Very horrific. So we're not going to let that happen to us. You can't. This is the heading bug on this is pretty cool though. You can press it and it'll automatically align the center, which I really love. Something that the 737 could really do with. And up we go, guys. Checking the weather in Paphos. Looks like we may have some thunderstorms, actually. 24 degrees. See a CB indication there, so that could be interesting. No significant issues apart from that. That's good. And the visibility is looking okay as well. Winds are 310 at 9 knots. Now, what I cannot remember is whether there is a approach. There we go. QNH is 1016, so we'll get that punched in. 10.6. There we go. Transition altitude. There we go. There's our ground wind gust. So that is. So what did we say? 310 at 6? 310 at 9. So we go 310/9. Nope. Let's try 09. And that will give us our approach speed 110 knots. Touchdown 107. So that's looking good. It's a happy chappy. A very happy chappy from the looks of it. We can try and kick the VNAV in here. I don't think it's not wanting to play today, so that's fine. Indicated airspeed for me is completely acceptable on this airplane. It's not quite the same as VNAV, because VNAV obviously does a few more calculations for you, but it will hold the indicated airspeed. We just need to make sure that we remember to put this into cruise power once we get to altitude. But we're already at 14,500 feet, so although we should have that set to standard, shouldn't we? The Brazil ATR. Oh, was it Brazil? Thanks, Nighthawk. Yeah. Yeah, that was terrible, terrible accident, that one. Oh, so how's everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing alright. Two Cats, I haven't seen you in a long time, man. I was actually thinking before I started the stream, I haven't seen a lot of the old gang, as I would say. Oh, we do have a top of climb indication here as well. Sorry, there it is. So despite the fact that we're not using VNAV, the airplane will tell us roughly where we need to be. Now what we can do on the flight plan is get rid of that discontinuity. If we go here, I think we can just clear that. And if we click on this speed altitude, this will give us our indicator. So we have 7,000 above at Nordy, so I'm going to change that. Hardwire that to 7,100. And what I'm hoping that will do is give us a top of descent rating, or indication, when we get closer to Nordy. Tucat says, new jobs keeping you busy. Working for SWS, what's that? And work as an aircraft mechanic. All right, okay. So no weekends become chill time? Perfect. Absolutely. And why should they not? Alright, put Stupid in Doghouse, just a quick click there. It puts the heading bug at the top, just in case we have to revert to heading mode. Apart from that, we can take the seatbelts off. Simwork Studios. Oh, right, okay. The ones that made the Kodiak. Very good. I didn't know you worked in the flight sim industry, sir. Very exciting. That will certainly keep you busy. Certainly keep you busy. How did Nighthawk get ahead of me? Oh, these clouds are doing my head in, though. Just coming up, approaching 17,000 feet. We still got a bit of cloud here, so we're keeping that icing on. You fix real planes and then program pixel planes. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Quite right. That's pretty good. It's exciting. Definitely starting to see a bit of cloud increasing here. Nighthawk must be running at full power. That's why. But at the moment we're holding nicely. Plane's doing an absolute bang up job. We are fully loaded as well, so that's why you'll probably see the plane starting to struggle as we get closer to 19,000. Remind you to share your Google image folder. Yeah, please do. Please do. You can do that here, and you can also post that in Discord in the pub there, Two Cats. Every time I touch the prop condition, I shut off the engine. It's easily done. It's easily done. It's a fiddly little plane, isn't it? But I've got to say, this is, despite the VNAV not working, which I'm not really particularly bothered about anyway, because it never really worked properly. I'm very, very delighted. I think this is a really solid airplane now. I'll take off landing lights as well. Yeah, everything's just clicking. I think we're probably safe to take off that anti-ice, so just get a bit of power back. There's the altitude horn. Approaching at a paltry 600 feet per minute up to our cruising altitude today of 19,000 feet. Flight level 190. Now the icing AOA might be kicking in because it's actually lowering the climb to reduce the chance of stall in the event of icing. That's possibly why that. I think that's what that AOA means now. I was doing a bit of reading on it after the Brazil incident, and the plane does definitely try to protect itself a little bit. Last week you were working on the 177RG. Oh, very cool. Was it quite enjoyable work then, Two Cats? You quite like the. It must be, it must be cool that you can work on real planes and then kind of work on the fantasy stuff, as we would say. We do have some news today, guys. I'm going to break off for a couple minutes just to grab a coffee. Come back and we'll talk through all of the headlines today, courtesy of our news correspondent Nighthawk, who's flying with me. And also somehow ahead of me. Okay. Is that plane going to stop? That's the question here. Let's put the altitude hold on. Got pitch hold now. Why is that? It's interesting. That should have technically leveled off by itself. I don't know why I didn't. Or I'm missing something entirely. Anyway, we are now on altitude, so we can now switch this to cruise power. And that just is a engine management setting just to increase the efficiency as much as it can. Let's try and go VS, so just try and pitch down a bit. See if the airplane will pick up and hold at altitude. Yeah, I am getting altitude star now, so. Okay, it does seem to be trying to grab the altitude now, so that's what I want it to do. And you can see our cruise speed is now just gradually increasing, as we would expect. I'll set that to about 200. That's a good descent speed. But with the power management in cruise setting, this should eventually level out. It won't. It's not just going to keep spooling up until it hits red line. And now we go off our way to Cyprus. I don't think I have any wing views set up for this, do I? Oh, I do. There we go. Look at that. I think that's the only two I set up. I think this is when I first started playing with wing views. That's maybe possibly why. Oh, you know what I don't have loaded? I've not put in my my progress bar. That doesn't work, does it? You need the progress bar there. Let's see if I can get it. Kick it in here. Where is it? There we go. Just so we know where we are. Okay, generally happy that the airplane is stable, so I'm going to leave you with some nice views as we depart over Turkey, and I'll be right back with you guys. Stay tuned. back with you guys. So I'm just seeing if we got a top of descent marker. We do. It does seem very close, but maybe that's correct. See how that works for us. Back with your coffee and the plane still in the air, that's a good sign. Yeah, we seem to be doing okay here, so. Excuse me. Anyway, shall we jump into the news, guys? We've got a few things to talk about, so let's go to it. Yes, indeed. Lots of news to talk about today. We have... Oh, I jumped in the front. So, first of all, there's a free utility, which is for ACARs. This is for integrated dispatch and company messages and things like that, which is pretty cool. Oh, as I take a slurp of coffee there. And it looks like it integrates into a whole bunch of stuff here. So, I think they got it. I presume that's either the Fenix or the fly-by-wire. Oh no, look, that looks like the Max. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It just went into open beta, and it's free. Amazing, amazing. So if you are a big VATSIM flyer, and there you go, it's going to be compatible with Fenix A320, fly-by-wire, PMDG, 777, TFT MD11, the MD80. Targeting compatibility for the Ryzen 787 as well, so that is pretty cool. I'm sure more will get added as time goes on, but yeah, for something that's completely free, that's amazing. There's a 737 Classic, so by just looking at this, I would assume that they're talking about the 747-400, which is one model before the NG line of airplanes. So I'll say they're saying a 500, which is fine. Commercial simulation systems. Never really heard much about these guys, and it doesn't really say much else. But that's obviously they're starting with the base, and it's looking swell. Very early days, and apparently they have a pedigree. I don't know. I've not really heard much about CSS. Wombi Actual, love that name. They've just brought out, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce this. I presume this is in, is this Netherlands? I'm not sure, but, Norway, I beg your pardon. Svalbard, I guess. Short runway, way up in the middle of nowhere, as many airports in Norway are. I don't know if we have any more pictures. Oh, there you go. That's lovely. That's quaint. 2,800 foot runway, so I can't see much bigger than a turboprop coming into that. Microsoft has announced release times for Flight Simulator 2024. So depending where you are in the world, the times you are looking at, and I'm sure this will be somewhat staggered because you're looking at servers. If you're in London, here in Britain, we're looking at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the 19th of November. So that is very soon. That is literally 3 days away. What is that, Tuesday? So that's very exciting. If you're on the Pacific Coast, you're looking about 8 a.m. in the morning. As for that, Tokyo can expect to get it about 1 hour past midnight, and likewise Sydney can get about 3 hours past midnight. And if you are on the East Coast of North America, you will be looking at about 11 a.m. in the afternoon. So very exciting. Lots to talk about. I had a great conversation with XP72 on Sky Blue Radio last week, and he's really been trying out the beta, and he says it's just absolutely spectacular. So yeah, really, really excited to see what happens, and no doubt we will take a look at it here on Positive Rate as well. Interesting thing though, when the new sim launches, it's not going to have the marketplace ready They're obviously going through a few issues, possibly dependencies on third parties, etc., like that. But what they have said is you will still, however, be able to access any purchased content from the marketplace. So you cannot buy anything new from day one, but you should be able to get a hold of any items that you've bought in the marketplace previously. Don't ask me why, but that's how it is. Aerodynamics is coming out with a DC-10. And this is a big week for TriStar announcements too. DC-10 obviously is the predecessor to the MD-11, with a whole engineering panel that you can see there. So yeah, it looks like life is going to be very interesting if you want to fly this thing. Also heavily used, and it does mention here, converted firefighting airplanes, that kind of thing. So yeah, we love the TriStars. Well, there is a bit of footage there. And it just shows some of the systems that they're working on. It's looking good. It's looking really nice. So yeah, we all the best to them. We can't wait to see what they come out with. Obviously, everyone is excited about Inabuild's A350. They've got some more shots. I mean, this is just looking absolutely spectacular. An update on the 380 cockpit. So do expect a lot of similarities between the fly-by-wire A380 and the 350. Which is just one evolution above the 380, although I'm sure it'll be almost identical in many ways. But Inabuilds wasn't going to stop there. Oh no. They have come out and announced that they are building a Lockheed TriStar releasing next year. Whoa! This is an airplane that has a lot of heritage in commercial aviation. I myself had about roughly 50-60 hours as a passenger on the Lockheed 1011, so I know the airplane very well. It's not used in commercial aviation, as mentioned in the article. However, it is still currently used as a transport aircraft by the Royal Air Force in Britain. So they are still flying around the world, and I believe there might even be a handful of freighters somewhere. But this is actually awesome news, and they haven't put out much yet. Just a couple of external shots just to get everyone hyped up. But yeah, that should be really cool. Again, this is very similar to DC-10. It has a full engineering panel as well. So it took 3 people to fly the Lockheed 1011, which is one of the reasons that they wanted to decommission it. Whereas the MD-11, which was an update to the DC-10, was able to run on 2 pilots. There was some more systems automated, so that's what. And the DC-10 is freeware as well. Is it? Oh, amazing! Absolutely amazing. Yeah, Inabuilds just continues to impress, don't they? So anyway, that is the news for today, guys. We'll get back to our flight, and let's see if we can continue our journey to Paphos. Okay. Making good progress. Not quite over the med yet. It just goes to show how massive Turkey is. Isn't it? Nighthawk up. Oh, Nighthawk's not too far away. Cruising speed about 196 knots. Yeah, so it's very comparable. I mean, you could pretty much fly the Duke turbine alongside this airplane quite easily, or a TBM actually. TBM might even be a little bit quicker. Now, if you put your engine management on high, this airplane can definitely fly faster, but it is not how it was designed to fly. It was designed to cruise with your power management in the cruise setting for fuel efficiency, and that's how it makes this fuel work. And you remember we took off about 2.4 tons after all this time, we've only burned about 310 kilograms of fuel, which is incredible. And this is jet fuel. This is uses the same fuel as you would use for commercial airliners, as far as I know. So it is incredibly efficient. Mrs. Tippy! Hello, good morning, everyone, she says. How are you, Mrs. Tippy? And a big thank you, by the way, Mrs. Tippy, for keeping us company on the DJ chat last Sunday. That was really good. Also, if you guys are around tomorrow, I've got British Av Geeks going to be joining me on Sky Blue Radio at 1400 Zulu tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about all the good stuff that he's been doing online. My pleasure. Enjoyed it. Well, thank you very much. No, it was great to have you along. It was a good show. A lot of fun. Some good conversation, and it was particularly interesting to hear XP72's views on virtual reality. So I can't remember. It was at the high. I can't remember which. It was Diamond something VR goggles he's got, but from what he was describing, it just sounded incredible. So we're currently over Turkey still, I believe. Heading towards the Med. We're going to be landing in Paphos. If we go down to... It says approximately 0113 Zulu we're going to hit. So yeah, as expected, we're probably running slightly, about 15 minutes over the end of the normal stream, but that's fine. Don't know if we have a top of descent indication. No, we don't. Coming in Telvo. Telvo is our entry point for our approach into... Oh no, Telvo is our exit point, isn't it? Telvo was our last meet point, so we're going to Mutt. There you go, Mutt. How much longer is the flight? Yeah, I just checked. It's just over an hour. Just over an hour. You slept in this morning. Oh, you're up. Wait. Oh, the Tyson fight. Yeah. How did that go? Was that a farce? I don't have any idea who's won, lost. Was it a draw? I just didn't have a lot of interest in it. I used to be really big into professional boxing, but I find the whole thing is completely rigged now. So I generally don't get too excited about it anymore. And I'm not a huge fan of Ultimate Fighting Challenge either. Whereas I do like, it's hard to find, but I do like watching things like competition judo and competition karate tournaments and things like that. I find that more interesting. Tyson lost, yeah. Well, he's an old man. I mean, it was kind of like a Rocky Balboa. He was trying to recreate Rocky Balboa in real life, wasn't he? I still got some stuff left in the basement. Or in Tyson's version will be, I still got some stuff left in the basement. But I guess he didn't. I mean, was it... for his age and his challenges, he did great. Good. I think that's ultimately what he was trying to achieve, wasn't it? Just to show that he could put on a good show. So no, get on. I'm sure he's laughing at the money he took away from the fight. Oh, we got an option for landing elevation in here. Interestingly enough. How do you set that? That's a question. That might be in our performance, but... No, it doesn't say. I think it might be... I think it's just there for show. I don't think that does anything. Okay. Just take a look at the scenery. It's, I love the scenery here. It's really interesting. It's a mixture of kind of hills and farming and it's already set 0 is what it does work. Oh, it does work. All right. It was already set 0 is what you want. Right. Okay. How do you set it? I wanna do that. Source select FMS. Oh, manual. There you go. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So it must be picking up the information directly from the destination airport or the destination runway. That's what it is. Cool. So if you aren't using the FMS, and because a lot of I can't remember what article I saw, but a lot of pilots who use the ATR don't actually use the GPS aspect of it. They just use beacons and generally fly it manually. They might use iOS though. So if you're using iOS without using the FMS input, then that's possibly where you'd want to be able to adjust that. So that's pretty cool. Sits automatically. Yeah, it's only 35 feet. Yeah, fair enough. There you go. I learned something today. You know, it's been a good day if you learned one thing. If you haven't learned anything, then you got to get out more. Let's think about our descent speed. I think we'll probably set that for about 180. And remember, we want to be about 7,100 by the time we get to... try to put this back in again. Time we get to Nordy, which is after top descent. So... and our platform altitude is 2,100 coming into the ILS. So in terms of the ILS now, ILS frequency today. Let's have a look. So it's course setting 285. I'm just gonna write this down. .285 at 108.9. There is also Paphos BOR there that we can use for DME. 2,100 platform altitude, yeah. Anything else we need to put? Decision height of 230 barrel. So we set our decision height here. There it goes. Alright, that is there. Course selection. Can't remember where that changes. I think we have to go into a nav mode if I remember. Oh, you gotta, I know, we gotta put it here, that's why. Course selection is going to be 285. It's actually changing way down here, just in case you can't quite see it. There we go, that is set. There is 2 courses as well. We'll leave that for now. And don't think we need to set on both sides in this. And our standby frequency we said was 108 point, not that one, 108, 10, yeah, I know you're gonna do that. Go away! One oh eight. Oh, try again. There, that's in our standby frequency. That's ready to go. Oh, well, it does say an ILS2, so that's okay. I guess we do need to set it then. It's not easy to see the course on here, though. That's the problem. You won't even, it's actually hidden by my, maybe I'll just see it there. There, that's set as well. And put that back into thing. And we'll get 1089 in the backup frequency as well. There, and we can just quickly flip those over when we're ready. Just bring down the range a little bit. Man, this is a big country. Okay. So I think we're generally ready to go. Q&H, we just need to bear in mind, will be 1016. Now, I think on this one... No. So we'll have to, we'll just have to set that when it's time. I thought you could actually preset it and then switch it over, but no, it automatically goes manual. It can't do everything. It's just a small plane. It's just a little plane after all. But it's a lot of fun. View at that side. Nah, that's kind of boring. It's a bit more interesting. Wait, I just got to... I'll be right back, guys. I just need to go use the facilities. 2 seconds. Oh, that's better. Okay. Yes, I'm in the ATR, Mississippi, yeah. And you're gonna join us, I saw that. Yeah, that'd be great. Keep an eye out for you. Can't see what range this is. Oh, 160. Right, okay, 80. Okay, I got it. It's top of sense right before LCA. And our estimated time of arrival to LCA is... Sorry, I was already looking at 1301 Zulu. So yeah, we still got a ways to go yet. Still a ways to go. It's 160, about 150 miles off, so. Well, see, scenery's getting more interesting again. Some mountains. If you, well, it depends what you want to do. If you just want to buzz around a jet, I mean, a comparable speed aircraft to this would be the TBM or something like a turbine version of an airplane, like the Duke. Dark Star. Yeah. You know what? I've loaded the Dark Star and I think I took off in it, but I've never actually flown it. I've never flown a full flight in it. I had to play with it. I saw it. I looked at it. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, that would catch me up. Yeah, it would do very quickly. And overshoot and probably end up in South Africa or something like that. Don't think you've ever tried the Dark Star. Personal opinion, you're not missing much. I mean, it's a made-up airplane, right? It's just, it came out with a Top Gun promotion. Strangely, I'm pretty sure you can't download the Top Gun stuff anymore. I think they took it off. So unless you already have it, because the licensing arrangement that they had with Paramount was for a limited period of time. So anyone that's already bought it can still get the content, I think, from the marketplace, and it was free, right? You didn't actually pay for it. But if anybody who didn't already download it, I'm pretty sure they said that it's not available anymore because the licensing agreement didn't cover it. I'm sure something similar will happen with the Dune. Was it the Orthanopter? The word is different. It's different. Yeah. You've got the Top Gun stuff from the Dark Star, yeah. I wasn't particularly impressed with the Super Hornet, if I'm being honest. I don't know if is there a freeware overhaul for that plane? I actually thought the F-18 that you had in FSX was a lot better. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. I just love every place in the world is different somehow. It's got its own quirks, and I mean, look at that's so neat. Nighthawk says there was a good freeware F-18 Super Hornet, but it hasn't been updated in years. Yeah. Yeah, it's I'll tell you what I would really like is a really good, detailed, properly modeled F4 Phantom. I mean, I think there's one that's out, but I don't know if I was particularly. From what I could tell, it didn't look like it was the one to get, if you know what I mean. But I'm definitely happy with that. The only thing is, you know, the fighters are fun, but like they're not great for navigation. not in the civilian world anyway. Heat Blur is bringing their DCS F4 to MS. Yes, now that I could get on board with. So I wonder if they're going to be doing that with India Foxtrot Echo again then. But that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. It's not bad, but it's not great. Doreen, we're past Mutt now. Or Doran. Which we will intercept in around 12 minutes. Where's our clock? Oh, it's here. Yeah. Look at that. Mother Nature is amazing. I wonder what type of wildlife you generally get in Turkey then. What is the ETA 1255 Zulu? Nah, I think that's a bit ambitious. It's probably basing it on current speed. It's not the most accurate of things. Whoop. Oh, I see Mississippi. What's the VL3 again? Remind me. Well, we're getting a little bit of turbulence now. Bit of unstable air. Vertigo. Okay. What's the vertigo? Not really aware of that one. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Got friends, yeah. It's a, I think it's an aerobatic airplane. Am I right? Seems like an appropriate name for an aerobatic airplane. Yeah. Cool. Still saying 1313 Zulu. So ignore what the estimated time of arrival says on the progress bar at the top. It's wrong. I'd sooner trust this than the... So that's going for 240 knots. Oh yeah, well it could be by the time you account for... We're actually getting 262 knots, so we're getting a bit better than that. Might actually, it might be correct then. We might actually get there a bit sooner. That speed's definitely wrong, though. Okay. Can't remember if there was a weather thing here. Oh, I forgot there's a takeoff config as well. It's all coming back to me, folks. It's got an awesome pink livery. Fair enough. We had a pink livery once. We had a pink livery for it was actually specifically for Shark Kitty. It was for the Osprey. Bright pink. Well, it wasn't bright pink. I was thinking it was a faded pink. There's the Mediterranean coming. We finally made it. It'll be interesting to see if we get unstable air as we're coming over the water. "24 degrees in Cyprus, though, guys. I could definitely deal with that right now. I would not hurt one bit. So we're probably getting some mountain turbulence. Yeah, there you go. That's where that unstable air is coming from. It's just the terrain underneath us. That's right. It's got sleepy dust in my eye. Well, you got up to 19,000 feet in a hurry, that's for sure. That plane can fly awfully high, can it not? Don't know why this is deviating off course. Oh, it's on heading hold. How did that happen? Get back on course, you. Did I hit heading at some point, or maybe it just deviated? I'm not sure. It sure can. Wow. That's one heck of an airplane. That water looks just like glass, doesn't it? Get some good views as we bank back on course and see what happens. That's beautiful. I love that. That'd be some coastline to visit, wouldn't it? Oh, I love the names you get. Lilac Paprika. Some people get very creative with their flight sim handles. Okay, we are now steering back on course. Lilac Paprika. I mean, what inspires that? I can't remember all the funny ones I've seen. I should actually write them down. I always try to give out one award per stream on who's got the best name, and so far, Lilac Paprika, you've got it. If by chance you come by, I love your flight sim nickname. That's fantastic. Great. Okay, LNAV is now doing its thing. We're back into back on course. Just put the heading bug up there. I never know. I don't know why it came off LNAV. Maybe I clicked something. I'm not sure. Okay. Top of descent is now within the 80-mile range. Probably, judging this, I'd say it's probably just about 70 miles away. Remember, LCA was our indication, so 2 minutes past the hour, which is about 28 minutes away. So 28 minutes top of descent. It's funny because when you see 80 miles, I mean, when you're in an airliner, you cover that distance in no time, don't you? But obviously it's a little bit different when you're in a prop. We're still got pretty good ground speed, 256 knots. Can't complain about that. The fastest I was ever in a prop was Flybe. I was taking a Dash 8 down to Heathrow, and my phone had I've got an app which does speed, and you can actually switch it to it'll actually show you altitude and knots if you wanted to. And we had a hell of a tailwind flying south, and I actually had the ground speed clocked at 320 knots. And that was in a Dash 8. That was a very, very quick journey for that airplane that day. It was also a very windy landing. Wouldn't recommend it. Because when those are coming down, I think I was sat near the back as well. I was talking to one of the flight attendants, and we had a nervous flyer near me. And we're coming down into Heathrow. This plane is banking and rolling and flipping up and down and side to side, you know, shaking, things falling out of shelves. And me and the flight attendant are just chatting away, joking and whatnot. And meanwhile, there's this woman beside us, and she just turned to us. She went, "How are you not terrified? How are you not terrified?" I'm like, "It'll be fine." And I just looked at her. I said, "It'll be fine. Just breathe in, breathe out, and relax. It's fine. This is normal." And as soon as I said this is normal, she kind of stopped, and she went, "Okay." And I just tapped her on the shoulder. I said, "It's going to be okay. I promise." And she went, okay. And then she just kind of chilled out. Then we landed, you know. And it was it must have been about a 25-degree crab as well. It was, I mean, it's for a nervous flyer. It was probably not the best flight, but no, she was fine. And she actually came up to me after and said, "You know, thank you for that. It really did help me calm down." She goes, "I don't exactly know what you did, but you just seemed to calm me down." I said, "Oh, it's fine. No worries." So yeah, that was good. Lots of fun. Okay. Coming up to our turn. Not much to see at the moment. Just the Mediterranean. The other thing I always I miss around the Dash 8s, I used to fall asleep quite a lot on them, is when they're at cruise, they just have this kind of rock they do this kind of rocking motion. It's the best way to describe it. And it's just like being in a crib and just someone just kind of gently rocking you. And the engines is, because it's not a high pitched one, it's like a grumble. And man, I'm out like a light. I used to get so much sleep on the turboprops. But my favorite of all time to fly on as a passenger, I absolutely loved it, was the Saab 340. That was a stunning airplane. I really enjoyed it. Nighthawk says in the military you always fell asleep in the Hercules. Yeah. Well, the Hercules, that's even worse because there's no windows, right? So you can't see anything. And plus, I guess it depends on the configuration, but a lot of times you guys are sitting kind of facing inside from the side, aren't you? Although I have seen passenger configurations where you put seats in the middle as well. But yeah, I mean, you can't see anything. You're just like, whatever. I remember talking to my best friend is Canadian Forces. He's actually on the verge of retirement, Nighthawk. And he used to describe both in the Hercules, but he also used to get these in the, I think he was actually on an RAF 1011 as well. Although he was Canadian Forces, he got a trip, or he was able to get a hop to come and see me and spend some time in Britain when he was on a break from his tour one of his tours in Afghanistan. Anyway, but he used to describe the combat approach into the airports. So they fly, and I'll let Nighthawk correct me on this, but essentially what they do is the planes fly about maybe 10,000 feet. The trick is they want to be out of range out of a handheld weapon, right? Like a rifle or something. Anyway, so they fly up pretty high, and then what they do is they get ready to go to the airport, and they just drop. Like, we're talking probably 3,000 feet per minute approach to the runway, and then as soon as they get just about to the runway, they start to level off and then get all the brakes out and everything like that, and then land. So, but when I've talked to guys, they describe it. It's like being on like a wicked fast roller coaster that just doesn't stop. It must be quite a sensation. So I don't know if you ever had any experience with that, Nighthawk, but I always found that quite interesting. And of course, there's the flip side of that with the Hercules. You get a rocket-assisted takeoff, and my buddy told me that's a hell of a. It's like someone kicking in the ass, because they light up these eight rockets and it just off it goes. They keep the rear ramps open, occasionally throwing toilet paper out. Lovely. The old days, huh? Yeah, I was never. I was on the verge of. I was invited to the Royal, the RAF College, the Royal Military College for Aviation or something like that. I was accepted into their air traffic control program, but I decided not to go through with it. I just got married, and I didn't want to end up. I wanted to spend some time with my new wife. I didn't want to join up and then get deployed out into a war zone and not see her for 6 months at a time. So it was kind of the wrong time. But I sometimes wonder, what if I'd done that? I think it might have been could have been a completely different life. Okay, top of descent is now within 40 miles. We're not far away. LCA, it looks like we're cutting a little bit of time off as well. So 12:59 LCA, we're currently at 12:41. So I reckon we're going to hit that top of the descent about just over 10 minutes. I think we'll keep the range where it is at the moment. I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, we can see coastline here. So this will be Cyprus, which is a lot bigger than you think. Let's get an outside shot of that. Just taking in Cyprus in all its glory. Very, very big island, actually. Contended island. One half of Cyprus is owned by Turkey. not necessarily an exact half, but a good chunk of it, and the other half is claimed by Greece. We are going into Paphos, which is on the Greek side. So just in case you're looking at the airports, you think, why are the airports such a completely different names? Because there is a Turkish airport as well. It's just, yeah, two different nations. And I was taught how to mop a floor properly by a Cypriot, a woman. She was a Cypriot woman. They had a Greek restaurant back in Hamilton, where I'm from, and I used to drive delivery for them. And one of my jobs at night was to mop the floors in the kitchen, in the bar. And first day I did it, she was just shook her head. She goes, "No, I will show you." And she showed me, and it always stuck in my head. And nowadays, when I see other people mopping floors, I go, no, that's not wrong. I'll show you. So, big thanks to Maria, wherever you are. Thank you for teaching me how to mop floors properly. Okay. So, altitude-wise, we want to drop to about probably our initial above, which is 7,000. So we'll take this down. It's changing here too. I know it's not easy to see. So we'll take it down to about 7,000 initially, or 7,100. That's our entry point into Nordi, which is, you see the restriction here. And then we're just going to have to do this in stages. So 5,500, 4,000, 3,000, and then ultimately getting to our platform altitude of 2,100. We'll start looking for that ILS at that point. We'll switch over to ILS mode. And hopefully it'll all go swimmingly. And we can see a little bit of cloud buildup too, so we'll have to think about icing. Did I miss the top of the descent? I can't remember. Or has it just suddenly disappeared? Oh no, because I've dropped the altitude. So this is the only thing I don't like about the ATR is if you change the altitude setting, your top of the descent disappears. But we know it's roughly before LCA, so that's fine. And we can see there's our constraint at Nordi. Okay. Standby compass. All right, do a quick weather check. Not much has changed. The winds are the same. Temperature is the same. QNH is still 1016. So I think we're good to go. Still reporting thunderstorms. Or at least stormy clouds. There we go. There's a runway down there. Look at that. We could just land right now. But we won't. Okay. I think we will start our top of descent. So I am going to stay in cruise power. I think I'm going to climb mode. Can't remember. We'll leave it in cruise for now. Initially, what we're going to do is I'm going to start dropping the nose. Take it to about 1,000 feet per minute. And I'm going to go into indicated airspeed. So what this will do, and then I'm going to drop the engines a bit. So what this will do, indicate airspeed descent, it will hold me at 200 and allow that airplane to come down at a vertical rate which will maintain that airspeed at 200 knots. Which is pretty much what a VNAV does in essence. It's just what VNAV works out for you is when it should do it and if it should make any adjustments. Or if there's a speed change in the plan, then it'll readjust to that. But it essentially indicate airspeed climb descent works very, very similar to VNAV. So you don't actually need VNAV. But it does make life a lot easier. Okay, clouds are looking a little bit dodgy, although the temperature, what's our outside air temperature? That's the question. So it is still -6, so I am going to bring on some anti-ice here, just to protect the airplane. And we'll bring it on the engines as well. Airframe, nope, don't need that. That's our anti-ice systems in place, just in case we get any frosty. But as soon as we get low enough, and we see that temperature start to come up, which it is, we can probably switch it off. By the way, Nighthawk, I was just thinking when you're on about toilet paper being thrown out the ramp, I'm sure that wasn't the only thing that was thrown out that ramp. Sure, there were other things. Some of them maybe a bit more whimsical than others. Bit of coastline there, very nice, pretty. Okay, approach debrief. So we are 110 knots is our approach speed today. QNH 1016 is set. 310 and 9 knots is still the same. We can activate approach speed as well at some point, but we're not going to use VNAV today, so I'm not going to bother doing that. I'm going to do that manually, which is completely fine. ILS frequency 108.9 is set on the frequencies. We'll just do a quick check on that. So yeah, 108.9, course 285, we'll double check that. There is a backup VOR at Paphos, but we'll ignore that for now. Platform altitude 2100 approach into the ILS, which is fine, and decision height, which is up here somewhere, 230 barrel. And if we just switch over to ILS for a sec, you can see that we do have course 285 is set in there, 108.9 our backup frequency. So that is absolutely fine. And at the moment, our power setting where it is, the airplane is doing an absolutely tremendous job. Currently at 15,000. We might want to increase our rate of descent. Now, how do we increase rate of descent? We drop the throttle even further. So I'm going to bring it down to about there. Now, the airplane needs to maintain 200 knots. So the only way it can do that is to increase the rate of descent, because it is still currently an indicated airspeed pitch hold. Oh, that's why, you know what? That's why the LNAV came off, because I switched off the... Because when I switch it into ILS, it disengages LNAV, so you got to turn it back on again. That's what I did last time. Okay, I'll just increase the range a bit. Bring it down to about 40 miles. Okay. Still like to increase that rate of descent even further, so I'm going to bring it back even more. And you should see that needle starting to drop a bit further because it's got to hold that 200 knots. LNAV is taking care of the rest, which is cool. There I can see Mississippi Nighthawk up in front. Look, why look Prika is dropping? Wonder. Oh no, she's climbing, right? Assuming it's a he, or she, could be he. And I see Logan, 2 Airbus 320s in the air at the moment. Nighthawk is very close. I can definitely see his lights. Okay, put Snoopy in the doghouse. We just quick press on that. Puts the heading bug up ahead of us just for backup in case. So assuming the top of descent calculation is based on roughly 1,000 feet per minute, I'd argue this is probably doing exactly what it needs to be doing. So I think we want to be about 7,100 at Nordy. At the moment, it's looking pretty close to that, so I'm quite happy. So I think if you calibrate on 1,000 feet per minute, roughly, that's going to give you what you need. And we're definitely starting to see some mountains up there, so we'll get some turbulence. Temperature's still on the cold side, so we'll leave the icing on for the moment because we do have a bit of clouds around. And I would imagine that these restrictions and constraints are in because of the terrain. Well, it looks like it's putting a prediction of where we're going to hit 7,100. And look at this, guys. It is almost bang on Nordy. Wow. I don't think I'm that good. I think I got lucky. Okay, at this point, I think we'll get seatbelts on here. And I'm gonna drop the music, guys. Let's focus on our task at hand, which is getting this airplane down. I think landing lights can come on at this point. There they are. Don't need takeoff or anything like that. Logo lights don't need to be on. Turn those off. Okay. We will need to put ourselves into takeoff power before landing, so we just need to remember that. Cruise, at the moment, cruise power is absolutely fine. Our next point is about 5,500. So once we're comfortable that we're going to be above 7,000, which is looking approximately correct, we can start dropping. I think at that point, just do it step by step, eh? But I want to drop the airplane before, or I want to drop the altitude before the plane levels off, because then we have to start messing around with power settings, and I want to try and hold that indicator airspeed at 200 knots, if we can. See Nighthawk starting to drop now as well. There's 10,000 feet. And we don't have to worry about decelerating because we're well below 250 knots. So one less thing to worry about. Okay, icing I don't think is a problem anymore, so I'm going to turn all that off. Profile is still looking absolutely spot on. We can see those mountains there, so this is where the 7,000 feet constraint comes in. interesting thing about the ATR, so the nav button has two modes depending on what you've got this switch to. If you put this on ILS 1, rather than activating the LNAV, the nav button actually acts as the localizer button for the ILS, and I'll see if I can demonstrate this today. Then moving on from that, you have your approach, which will control pitch control when the glide scope comes in. But this is, I think, probably why it's so popular with a lot of regional places, is some guys will just use it for, they'll just use beacons. So they'll have that set to ILS1, and generally they're just using the nav function to align to radio beacons that they'll be setting down in your ILS1 and 2 radios, which also act as VOR, so V/ILS. So we're looking up here, it's V, it's not ILS1, it's V/ILS1, which is VOR track. Okay, we're approaching 7100. I think we're quite happy, so I'm going to drop this to our next constraint, which is 5500. So I do not want that plane to level off yet. And we can also bring in our barrel, which should be 1016. Which ideally, it's good to set that before you or while you're descending. And we're intercepting Nordy about 7,400 feet, which is absolutely fine. Well above our restriction. Plane is now approaching the RLS side of things. I can't remember if there's a landing system thing we need to put in here, or is that if that just comes in automatically. I think it might come in automatically. Jamie! Good afternoon, says Jamie. How are you, sir? Great to see you. Okay, remember 5,500, we're well above that. So I'm going to now drop this to our platform altitude. I think we're quite safe to do that, which is 2,100. It's changing here in case you can't see it moving. There we go. Very good. How about you did some... Oh, you did some real flying. Brilliant. What were you flying in? What kind of airplanes? Tell us all about it, Jamie. We want to know. But no, great. I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing all right. Okay, at this point, I'm going to go to heading track. Because we're now on course for ILS intercept. There are some hard points in here, but generally what we're looking for at this point is to pick up the beam, and Willy did not set the heading bug to the center when he did that, so the plane is now turning. If we go to flight plan, it should tell us what track we wanted. 240, yeah. And we've got 240 set, so that's fine. That's totally good. The other way we can increase our rate of descent is to increase the target speed. So if I put that up to about 210 knots, look what happens to our descent rate. In this case, I think what I'll do is I'll take it back to about 205. So there's different ways you can manipulate your pitch temperament when you're in indicated airspeed mode. This only works though when you're in IAS mode. Okay, we're picking up ILS, I think. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch this over to ILS1. So the airplane is no longer paying attention to the GPS, but we are flying heading track at the moment, so that's completely fine. Haven't flown the ATR in a good while. Getting bored of 2020. Yep, 2024. That's it. Everybody's getting excited about 2024. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. I don't seem to be... Oh wait, let's bring in our frequencies as well. Not gonna pick up any ILS if we don't have. All right, I want to drop this airplane a bit quicker, so I'm going to increase the indicated speed. Because I do not want... I can see that glide scope starting to come down a bit, and I don't want it to get too low. Although we have to be above 3,000 for that one, so let's back it off a bit again. 200 will do. And you can see the behavior is very similar to VNAV. It's when when it's decelerating, it will raise the pitch. And I presume the runway is somewhere around there. So currently the looks like we'll be at 2100 right before Papa Hotel 900, which is what we want, or 904 I should say, which is exactly where we want to be, so that's perfect. I'm gonna arm nav because I'm in V/ILS. Rather than LNAV, you'll see now that the localizer is armed, as I mentioned before, even though it's the same button, but it's dependent on what this mode is set in. And what that will do, all being correct. Okay, so we're going to turn to takeoff power now. Because once that levels off at 2100, we're going to have to either increase power, or actually what we'll do is probably leave it there, let the airplane decrease to about 130 knots. And look at the scenery coming in. Wow, guys. Look at this. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is so nice. Oh, man. I want to land there in real life. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Yeah, I've tuned the ILS. Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Okay, there's the localizer coming in. We should see the plane starting to turn, which it is. You can see the localizer mode is now active. At this point, I'll also arm the approach mode. You'll see outstar and glide scope is now active. Indicated airspeed mode has now come off. So what I'm expecting to happen now that we're leveling off is we should see the airplane starting to decelerate. If it doesn't decelerate quick enough, there's a couple things we can do, but I'm going to back that off even further. Let's get that speed right down. So don't want to come in too hot. Once the glide scope comes in and the airplane takes control, we'll get the first stage of flaps out and are geared down. But at the moment we're starting to drop a little bit. I think we must have a bit of, we have a headwind, yeah. Okay. There's the runway, got visual. Glide scope is now coming in, and we can see glide scope star. And we should now see the nose starting to come down any second. There it goes. We'll go flaps 1. Gear can come down. And we'll go full flaps. Thrust idle. Got an overspeed warning at the moment, but that should come down. There it goes. We're now in landing configuration, so hopefully it's now down to me. Buckle up. I'll give a quick ding for the flight attendants there. Where are they? Landing, or sorry, gear lights can come on as well. Okay. There we go. We want approach speed about 120 knots and then 110 on approach there, so we're just about there. At the moment, our descent seems to be holding us about 120, so that's completely fine. Okay, I see the plane's starting to drop a little bit now. So I'll just bring in just ever so much power there. Approach is good. Okay, go manual. We should also get a decision height call out here.
Approaching decision height.
Little adjustments to that throttle just to make sure that we're not dropping below.
Decision height.
Continue.
200.
Slight crosswind.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Burst coming in. And we're down. Right, which direction am I going? Looks like we're going off to the left, are we? Manual braking. Oh, there's a terminal, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we can clean up the airplane. Flaps can come up. Landing lights can come off. Stroke can come off. Where's that? I think we just did we go right to the end here? Not entirely sure. Okay, we can bring in our inhibitor now. Oh, there's Nighthawk. We'll see if we can get a spot right beside him. All sorts of spots around here. I'm not sure where we're supposed to go. So we're definitely breaking a few rules here. But lovely landing. Oh, thanks, Jamie. I appreciate that. Yeah, so this is freeware stuff. If you go into our Discord in the pub, Nighthawk has graciously found this for us, and it's completely free. Completely free. So we'll have a bit of a look, but yeah, just to add a little bit of spice to Paphos Airport, which is cool. Was that your first successful ATR ILS? Oh, ILS landing. Okay, cool. Excellent. And coming from the north for ILS 29, you fly right over VOR. Oh, cool. Awesome. We're about there. Brakes can come on. Idle gate. Oh, the idle gate's already kicked in for some reason. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to put lights over. Well, nav can stay off. Sorry, beacon come off. Actually, beacon should stay on until the props are locked. And what we want to do is we want to go to cutoff, which is here. And that's how you do it, guys. Lovely flight in the ATR. Some great scenery there too. We'll definitely we'll definitely come back in the ATR sooner rather than later this time, as we're doing our flights around the world. But I think that was a very appropriate flight, I think, for the ATR, which is Ankara to Paphos. And it's not happening at high speed, so you get to take in some of the scenery along the way, which is really cool. Jayhawk says, well done. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you saying that. And a huge thank you to Nighthawk finding some awesome... Oh, no. There we go. Screenshot. Well, let me do that. I'm not sure. Cool. Automatically saved to the screenshots for it. Cool. I'll have to put that up. Even got Mrs. Tippy in there in her sporty wee airplane, which is cool. Like that. There's a coffee shop in the terminal. Oh yeah, we're going to take a quick look at the airport. Yeah, let's look at this freeware place. So this is Paphos. Nighthawk, I don't know if you could post in the chat who actually made this, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. Nice detailing in the car park, actually. Look at that. I bet this looks pretty good at night. Can you actually go in here? Yeah, so it's more just an external render, but that's okay. Got some cargo terminals over there. I love how you get all the... you can imagine the summer, all these guys are just bustling away, aren't they? All your luggage trucks and various things like that. Do a quick spot check at night. Let's take the... There you go. What does that look like? Oh, that's nice. Looks very inviting, doesn't it? It's quite good. I love these good use of the lights here. That's pretty good. Very good. Completely free, guys. Completely free. There is a link in our Discord channel. If you don't know how to get to that, just put exclamation Discord. But also, there's a link in the show notes if you're watching on Restream. So that is all there for you to come and say hi and get a copy of this great free free scenery. Hey, what can I say, folks? That is a long flight. We finished pretty much bang on when we thought we were going to, landing about just past 10 minutes past the hour. Freeware is Chak991, and he does a lot of good freeware. Okay, brilliant to know, Nighthawk. We'll keep an eye on him as we're going around the world. But yeah, huge thank you to Nighthawk. Some fantastic news there, and flying with us the whole way, and of course, finding some spectacular scenery for us to enjoy when we landed. Huge thank you to Mrs. Tippy as well as joined in today. And Lilac, what was it? Lilac Paprika, just for making me laugh. You might not be watching the stream, but he gave us all a bit of a giggle, so that was good. Anyway, that's it for me, folks. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and enjoy the rest of it. And we'll see you here next week. And we'll have to decide where we're going to fly from here, and where are we going to go, and what are we going to take to get there. That's the big question. So if you have any suggestions, hop over to Discord. I'll just punch that up again. I know most of you already know where it is, so hop over to Discord, join the family, go into positive rate flight plans, and throw your suggestions in there, and I will let you guys know what we're going to do next. Until then, all the best to you guys. Take care. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything all synchronized here. You know, right? I can do this. I can do this. Willy, you can do this, right? Okay, bye.
Naughty, naughty.